Hello, everybody. Tracy Mrs. JDog Flanagan here with you today. I'm the co-founder and senior vice president at JDog Brands. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Tactical Treasures podcast, powered by JDog and Vet TV. Our podcast gives veterans, male spouses, military members, military family members a voice in the veteran space to speak about their service, how they're affecting their communities post-service, and they share with me a tactical treasure from their past that has shaped their journey in their business, military career, or life. Today, I'm very excited to have with us Carrie Beavers, who is an Army veteran, having served for 10 years between the years of 1991 and 2001, first as a food service specialist and then later as a combat medic. After completing her service, Carrie was dealing with the financial and emotional challenges that many veterans face and was looking for other ways to help herself and her fellow veterans. It was then that Carrie decided to start her own company. Now, Carrie is the founder and CEO of Soldier Girl Coffee, where she works to serve Americans the best coffee experience, to use business to offer natural alternatives to veterans with PTSD and to inspire her fellow veterans who may be struggling with PTSD, to let them know that they can do anything they want in life, so long as they do not give up. Carrie, hello. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know we kind of took us a while, but here you are finally on the podcast. I'm really excited to talk to you today. So, could you tell us a little bit about your military service? What inspired you to join the Army?
Yeah, basically, I tried college for about a semester when I got out of high school, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do when I grew up. So I kind of just was taking classes, kind of interested in psychology and stuff like that. But I actually wasn't really even thinking about the military. So the Gulf War just started, and I had a recruiter just find me kind of at the right time in the right place. And for some, I just felt like that was like a purpose for me. Like I wasn't really worried about a war going on per se, as me joining, but just felt like it was something bigger than myself that I wanted to do.
That's great. Yeah. So how was your transition? I understand that you're very open about the struggles that you kind of had a bit transitioning. How did you overcome some of those struggles?
I think experience and time, wisdom. I'm about 51 years old, so just a lot of growth and just life experiences. But basically, I think that helped a lot when I finally did deal with my PTSD and get help for it. Was reaching out to veteran groups online when I was struggling. Right. And then I basically like feeling kind of suicidal. And when I reached out, I had no idea, because I've been out for quite a while, how many other veterans were struggling too. And that kind of gave me, like, when I started listening to them, it kind of gave me more of a purpose. And then I started getting on a veterans crisis team to help them also. And so then it kind of just came about them and not me as much, because that was helping me to heal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I've heard that a lot of times I've heard veterans say that the PTSD sometimes doesn't hit right away. As you transition, sometimes, you get right on with civilian life. You kind of throw all that thought process and that stuff in a closet. And then all of a sudden you open up the closet and it's all still there. And then it may be, 5, 6, 7 years down the road after service, and now you realize that you're really struggling.
Definitely. I actually got the PTSD in 1991, but I kind of was in denial and just tried to forget what happened, and because it was related to MST. But I went to Germany, my first duty station, and I was having all these problems, but I really didn't like connect the two.
Sure.
I wasn't being myself, just really wild and crying all the time, depression. It just wasn't my norm.
Right. Sure. Yeah. But now you are founder and CEO of Soldier Girl Coffee, Could you talk to us about your coffee and what inspired you to start a coffee company?
Well, kind of going back to the part where I was helping listen to veterans that were struggling. Because it was so overwhelming the amount of people that felt that way, the other vets, just bad. It was overwhelming. And I just lay there like, what can I do as one person? This big, huge problem.
Right.
And so I found out how to like use coffee as a tool to make the money for my mission, which was to get veterans out of isolation and into a team environment and hopefully reduce the veteran suicide rate. So that's the whole mission of it. And examples like getting them in charter fishing trips, hunting, anything with camaraderie. I've had like movie nights. And they played a Matt Best movie, but I'll forgive them, even though with Black Rifle, it was just kind of funny. But just stuff like that. And it's been awesome.
Okay.
So yeah, I just use a big portion of my sales to go back into the veteran community.
Right. So of course, at these events, you serve Soldier Girl coffee, right?
Oh yeah. Definitely.
So do you
want to hear about the coffee?
I do. So do you have a favorite coffee flavor?
I do. But it's one that I do like a lot of them, but the one that I just released is salted caramel. And I love it.
Caramel. Oh, wow. That sounds amazing.
They're all fresh roasted and I like all of that. I don't know. I'm a coffee lover, so I like flavored and single origin stuff. So it's all good to me because the fact that I know my roaster's really, really well at his job. And also, so the coffee is great and fresh. And that's the thing. My product, I didn't have to really work at selling that. I have to work at, branding and building my business because the product just speaks for itself and everybody's giving it 5 stars. They all love it.
Right, right. Hello, viewers and listeners. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Tactical Treasures Podcast. I would like to tell you about Irreverent Warriors. The mission of Irreverent Warriors is to bring veterans together using humor and camaraderie to improve mental health and prevent veteran suicide. The Silkies Hike is the organization's largest event that takes place throughout the nation. The purpose of the Silkies Hikes is to bring veterans together to improve mental health and to honor the military's old tradition of wearing silkies. These hikes take place in 70 to 80 cities across the country every year. They've even done a few overseas. You can find out more about IW if you go to their website, irreverentwarriors.com, and I'll spell that for you, IRREVERENTWARRIORS.com. Once there, you can click on the events tab and see where there is a hike close to you. You can also sign up for the newsletter, which will keep you in the know about all things IW. You can go to Facebook and search IW in your city and join the Facebook page to engage with veterans involved in the hike and find out when there's one close to you or in your city. If you are a veteran, active military, or reserve, you are allowed to hike. If you are a civilian, mil-spouse, veteran spouse, they need volunteers to drive safety vehicles, help with registration, snacks, water, and everything else they may need. So check them out, irreverentwarriors.com. Now back to the podcast. So how does Soldier Girl Coffee help contribute to the veteran space in order to be more than just a coffee company? Can you talk to me more about that?
Sure. It's been a lot of obviously trial and error.
Sure.
Using the discount codes, like say for JDog, using JDog, you could save 10% on your purchase and then 20% goes to JDog Foundation. I'm finding that it helps using the codes, but I think not as well as I want it to right now. I'd like to do more. So I do more on the side. So the codes I wouldn't say they're the best, but they do help.
Right.
It's something, right?
Yeah.
So I'll pick like certain programs that I choose, like veteran nonprofits and stuff, and I'll give them a code. And then a lot of my customers support that. They'll put the code in when they check out. So a portion goes to that. I also do a lot of, and it just helps even just donating products to people for fundraisers, for raffles. Or to give away to prizes like the military balls, IW hikes. I participated in quite a few of those.
Right.
As far as donating, my goal is to be a national sponsor, but I'm not there yet. So I've been doing a lot of little hikes.
Yeah.
So I have the IW hike in Pennsylvania or Harrisburg. I donated to just a little bit ago, and I'm going to be doing Chicago as many as I can. But
Right.
it's basically just helping. I can't help everybody, obviously, but
Sure.
I try to help as many as possible. Raise money. It's hard to raise money these days for nonprofits and stuff like that. So I just try to,
Sure.
network and help as much as possible and still keep everything flowing
Right.
on this end.
So I understand you've done photo shoots with women veterans. Could you talk to me about that?
Yeah. When I first started, I thought it'd be cool to get some female veterans together and, do some cool stuff on tanks and guns and just have a good time. And the first one really worked out. I kind of regret not going. I couldn't make it to the first one because I was building my business, but I sent about 4 or 5 girls down there and they had a blast. They got to ride the tanks and do the fire thing. So they had a good time and I paid for them to like go have a meal together and stuff like that. But I was really, really happy that I could do that for them. And I put it on again this year and I made the mistake of driving to Texas.
Oh my
But I
gosh.
was in it, but I drove from Illinois to Texas, which was kind of rough because when I got there, to do the shoot myself, I was just kind of exhausted. But
Yeah.
it was fun and it was so cool to actually meet. I do a lot online, so it's actually cool just to meet the veterans face to face. And I was so humbled that like they volunteered. I gave them, like coffee and swag and stuff, but they weren't expecting anything for
Yeah.
being in it.
Hmm.
So it was really great to see all the support that came out. And so we got to have like drive tanks all to ourselves and do the photo shoot there. It was fun.
Oh wow. That
So
sounds
it's
really
just a
neat.
really nice experience to get everybody together and it's been really a blessing.
Yeah, sure. Sure. Hello, listeners and viewers. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Tactical Treasures podcast, where we are currently speaking with Carrie Beavers, who is an Army veteran, having served for 10 years, first as a food service specialist and then later as a combat medic. She is now the CEO and founder of Soldier Girl Coffee, which gives red-blooded Americans the ammo they need to fuel their inner beast and seize the day, and provides them with the best coffee experience ever. Soldier Girl Coffee offers a variety of flavors such as Southern Pecan, Whiskey Barrel Coffee, and 100% Colombian blend. And she's going to share, she actually has some new flavors out, like a salted caramel, which I can't wait to try that. Soldier Girl Coffee also offers CBD and hemp-infused coffee in select flavors. If you would like to find out more and to purchase coffee or some Soldier Girl Coffee merchandise, head over to soldiergirlcoffeecompany.com. Now back to the podcast. So this leads us to your treasure. So I'm really excited to know what you're going to share with us today.
Well, I was going to say more into they kind of led into the groups with the veteran suicide stuff, but I will start with the fact that I think my business is my tactical treasure. It's my purpose, my passion. Kind of what Soldier Girl stands for is strength, resiliency, just never giving up. And I guess like a lesson, I kind of wanted to add a lesson in there too, is that I have, I didn't deal with my PTSD for 30 years. So I'm going to pass that on.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's really, that's really special that you found, a new purpose in life and that you're, putting all your efforts into your company. Yeah, that's really great because it's your passion. So I love that. That's really awesome. So what advice would you have for your fellow veterans, especially, your fellow female women veterans who may be struggling with their transition out of the military or, not realizing that maybe they're struggling with PTSD, but not recognizing it. And do you have, some advice for them?
Well, I think a lot of people know some of the symptoms. Just maybe crying for no reason, depression, not feeling yourself, doing things that are risky behavior. My advice, like I said, I waited 30 years to try to get any help for it. And I just encourage people to go a lot sooner. If you're feeling it's okay to not be okay, it's okay to get help and stuff like that.
Right.
Actually, when I did get out of the military, my ex-husband was from Michigan and we moved back there and I didn't know anybody. And I just hid the fact that I was a veteran for many years. Like I just tried to blend in because there wasn't really a lot of veterans where I was. So,
Right.
but now I see like a lot of veteran communities and stuff like that. I think that's amazing if they can get into, in contact with other veterans and feel that camaraderie because sometimes you just feel like you're out there alone. So I encourage them to reach out online or their community, stuff like that, VFW, American Legion, any place. I know that some of my friends are like the first females to start events at some of these VFWs and American Legions. So it's just, it's kind of slower for us because we're a lot less of us. But
Right.
yeah, I just think that I spent too much of my life caring what other people thought. And if you're out there, show it loud and proud. I think we should just get out there and be like, yes, we are veterans.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, there's lots of women veteran things online support. There's events we have. It's just, if they have questions too, they can always email at soldiergirlcoffeecompany@gmail.com. I have a lot of networking and I can hook them up with some amazing female veterans that are doing amazing things too.
Oh, wow. That's great. Thank you for that contact information. Yeah, you're in a group where there's just a few, not as many. And you got to stick together, girl power, right?
Oh yeah.
That's
Definitely.
great. Yeah, definitely. So, before we wrap up, where can people, find you and buy Soldier Girl coffee?
Well, you just go online, https / all that
Yeah.
www.soldiergirlcoffeecompany.com. So it's pretty easy. So
Okay.
www.soldiergirlcoffee.com. If you don't remember, just go to Google. I have quite a few. Yeah, I have a lot in the search there that you can find out about the company and how to get to the store and all that. So
That's great. How many flavors do you have?
I won't go into the story. I always feel like I have to tell the story with this, but let's see. I have quite a few.
Now, do
Let's
you
see.
kind of swap them out like by season, or are they available all the
I
time?
kind of starting out, I was putting one a month. That's how I started. Like I
Yeah.
had I think I started with the 3 flavors and I had nothing else at the time. And then I thought, yeah, I'll do Southern Pecan for fall, but everybody loves it and it sells well. So it's not, it hasn't become seasonal, but I do have a couple that I think they're still there from Christmas, but like Candy Cane and Holiday Blend. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, I'm still working on my goals of how I want the bags all to be. I'm still working on. I'm pretty happy with a lot of this new labels that are coming out and stuff like that, but it's still a work in progress.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got flavored blends, Italian roast, high caffeine blend, wine hazelnut, 100% Colombian. I have options to add beans to almost everything I have. It's just stuff like that I'm a work in progress of getting to. So
Right.
I have 100% Colombian in beans, but I don't have that for everything.
Yeah. Wow, that's neat. All right. Well, you heard it. SoldierGirlCoffeeCompany.com.
Finally.
Get your coffee. I love it. Um, Carrie, thank you so much for coming on and sharing about your amazing, your experience as a woman veteran and sharing what you're doing now. I think it's great. I love it. I've had some of the coffee. I just Can't pick a favorite though. I haven't, but I haven't had the salted caramel.
Yeah, I have to get that to you, definitely.
I think I'm going to have to try that because I think that's going to be my favorite, to be honest.
I think so too. Yeah, we'll get you that for sure.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for coming on, and I love what you're doing, and keep building and keep growing. And it's awesome. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care. We'll talk soon. Hello, listeners and viewers. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Tactical Treasures Podcast. We have just been spending some time speaking to Carrie Beavers, who is an Army veteran, having served for 10 years. First as a food service specialist and then later as a combat medic. She is now the CEO and founder of Soldier Girl Coffee. Soldier Girl Coffee gives red-blooded Americans the ammo they need to fuel their inner beast and seize the day, and provides them with the best coffee experience ever. Soldier Girl Coffee offers a variety of flavors such as Southern Pecan, Whiskey Barrel Coffee, and 100% Colombian blend. And I believe we actually have a new flavor, salted caramel. Got to get me a bag of that. Can't wait to try that. Soldier Girl Coffee also offers CBD hemp-infused coffee in select flavors. If you would like to find out more and to purchase coffee or some Soldier Girl Coffee merchandise, head on over to soldiergirlcoffeecompany.com. Thank you so much for joining us for this podcast. We'll see you on another one soon. Bye now.